Welcome to the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, where we bring you a weekly dose of powerlifting news, tips, and training advice with a touch of 80s rock ballads. This podcast is presented by Team Roar Powerlifting, your source of the most comprehensive coaching and meet day preparation. Here are your hosts, Josh Rohr and Laura Sturm.
All right, welcome to episode 237. Laura is not here, but surprise, Taylor Smith is here. What's up, Taylor?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. So you just competed at the Georgia State meet, correct?
Sure did. Yep.
And I guess, well, let's get into that in a minute, but why don't you start with like your background, who you are?
Sure. Yeah. Taylor Smith. So I guess technically I've been lifting for 3-ish years, a little over 3 years. All combined. I didn't start out powerlifting. I just started lifting for fun and to stay in shape. And then I moved down here to Georgia and didn't know anybody. So kind of my goal with training was to have it be a 2-in-1. I get to meet people down in Georgia and also take training to the next level. And it's been good so far. So that's been, 2.5 years now since I've moved down here.
Are you asking me or telling me?
Yeah, whenever we started.
Yeah, it was about 2.5 years ago. Cool. So you lifted at the state meet.
Yep.
You hit PRs across the board.
I did.
You lifted in the 65 kilo class. You had a 303 squat, a 170 bench, and a 396 total, or 396 deadlift, not total. Sorry. And the deadlift was a state record. And the total hit the qualifying total for Raw Nationals. So pretty good meet. And you also were the best overall lifter by dots.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Great, especially, I mean, I didn't have the best meet at regionals in October of last year. So it definitely felt good to kind of have like a comeback meet, I guess. It's not that I did terribly in October, but I just didn't reach my own expectations. And so this meet, I kind of hit all of the goals that I had set for myself. So yeah, definitely more of a relief than anything.
So word on the street is you had some extra challenges kind of leading into the meet. Is that true, false? Do you want to talk about that at all? Is that off limits?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, so I just had a lot going on in my personal life. Lots of outside stressors and stuff that was affecting training. And then I got sick in December and was out for like 2 weeks. And I mean, I hadn't taken 2 weeks off of the gym and since I started lifting three and a half years ago. So honestly, leading up to state, I had even considered like dropping out and maybe trying to find a different meet just because training wasn't where it needed to be. I wasn't really hitting the numbers that I wanted to hit going into state. So I kind of had the conversation with Wade because I always tend to have really high expectations of myself. And then when I don't hit that, it's just very disappointing. So I talked with Wade and we really came up with the conclusion that I had two options. I could either stay and compete in state, and I needed to lower my expectations and just take what we get on that day, considering all of the exterior factors, or we could drop out and find a different meet. But ultimately, we decided to stay in the meet, which ended up being a good thing. But yeah, there was a lot going on, I guess, behind the scenes before the meet for sure.
Yeah, I mean, do you think as a lifter, is it normal that you have too high of expectations, or is that that's not a pointed question. That's just I know for me, my expectations were always way beyond what I was actually realistically capable of. But
no, and that probably is true. Like I can't speak for everybody, but I know just personally I'm in the same boat as you. I like to think that all of these things are feasible and that everything's going to be perfect and not going to have any issues. I'm going to hit all 3 attempts for all 3 of my lifts and it's going to be great and dandy. And realistically, most of the time, I guess that's just not the case. But yeah, still since I'm fairly new to lifting, I'm figuring that out as well. But yeah, no, I would agree with that 100%.
Cool. Well, and I think there's a it's a continuum, like, right? Is it like having confidence in yourself, or is it just being like delusional? Like
Right.
there's
Yeah.
the two ends of the
Yeah.
spectrum, and I think somewhere in the middle is probably what's probably appropriate. But like, yeah, it's hard, like, as a lifter to put boundaries or limits, I guess, on what you think you can
Yeah.
achieve. And,
Yeah.
objectively, that's what my joke is always like, Josh the lifter is a complete idiot. Josh the coach has like some outside like perspective of the bigger
Yeah.
situation. So, yeah, sometimes it's, I guess that's why you have coaches, right? Somebody to
Yeah. Definitely
keep you
keep your
in
head on
line.
straight.
Um,
Otherwise, you might lose it.
yeah. So speaking of coaches, you just fired yours. Why?
Well,
Okay, let me preface
oh
this.
God.
I want to talk about this because I think it's like a stigma that you can't, or that it is that it's firing your coaches and you're now dead to us or something like that. That's
Yeah.
not the case. And I'm only bringing it up, and I know you probably don't want to talk about it, but I think for people listening that may have the same thoughts as you, that just
Yeah.
feel stuck, I think it can be helpful. So I guess to set the stage, you've worked with us for 2.5 years, right?
Yeah.
You just hit all PRs across the board, but you have feelings that you might want to try something different, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you told us after the state meet that you wanted to go in a different direction.
Right.
So, uh, okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it's not that I disliked the coaching that I was receiving. And obviously, like, I did well with your coaching. I guess my thought behind switching coaches was, again, and it could be like me having too high expectations of myself, or like I feel like I could be better. But yeah, I feel like my numbers haven't been where I wanted them to be. And of course, external factors and everything. You never know what it is. But yeah, for me personally, I just decided that maybe if I tried something different, see how it goes. And I guess because you're the only coach that I've ever worked with, you and Wade are. So I really just I don't know different training styles. I don't know if it's something that maybe I'm missing, or if it's something in training that I could be doing better also. Um, so yeah, I'm just I guess kind of venturing out to see if is it me? Is it different coaching? Could I be doing better? I guess that's kind of like the deciding factor.
Yeah. So just as a general rule, like, if you have the perfect training plan written out for you, like all of the brilliant minds of the world have combined and put together this perfect training program, if you're just not sure if it's the right fit for you, then it's not the right fit.
Yeah,
So, I don't think, obviously we're disappointed. Like, I'm not going to lie about that. Like, we're disappointed, but like, the end of the day, we want what's best for you. And I
yeah,
think if you have doubts or you want to explore other options, like, do it, man. Like,
yeah,
and I think, I'm not, so I'll say this. You did it for 2.5 years. Like, you put your time in.
yeah,
So, the part that frustrates me is somebody, is working with a coach for a month and they're like, oh, this isn't for me. I'm jumping ship. They haven't even given it a chance. You gave it a
right.
chance. You made good progress.
Hmm.
Let's play best case, worst case scenario here. Best case scenario, you go somewhere else, you click and you take off, right?
Yeah,
Best decision you ever made.
right.
Worst case scenario, you go somewhere else. What is worst case scenario? You don't progress as
Yeah,
fast as you think.
yeah,
Okay, then you have options. You can find another coach, come back, stick it out, see if it changes. I mean, it's not the
right.
end of the world, but just to kind of settle your mind, I think I'll put it this way. I'm proud of you for stepping up and saying that, like, that you wanted
Oh,
to try something
thanks.
different, because a lot of people are just afraid to do that, um,
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe
No,
you will.
actually,
I'm not trying to inspire other people to like quit their coach here, by the way, but I also like, I think if that's, and we've had conversations already where you just, you've questioned things, and I think that's normal.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked it out and explained our philosophies and stuff, and I think it's worth exploring.
Yeah.
You know, I guess coming back to my point, like I'm not trying to talk people into quitting their coaches, but like you had that conversation with us, and I think a lot of people are afraid to even have that conversation. You know, if
Yeah.
they have doubts or questions or whatever, like there should always be that open line of communication with your coaches. And, you know, I feel like we had that, and
Yeah.
you know, I would encourage you to continue that with whoever you work with next, right? Uh,
Yeah.
and you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going. I'm kind of talking myself into a corner here. I don't have anything to
No,
circle back on.
you're
I just wanted to
fine.
bring it up because I just wanted to mention it because like, yeah, I think it's kind of one of those like, I don't know, topics that kind of has a stigma to it. Like, oh, we don't talk about
Yeah.
that, but like, it's
Yeah.
realistic. It's life.
Yeah. I guess all in all, yeah, absolutely nothing personal. And I mean, I love you guys and you've been great coaches and a great team. I just, I don't know. I guess, like you said, I still have the question marks and I'm still so new to powerlifting and lifting in general that I just need to try to figure out like what style of training works best for me. And if it's what you guys are doing, great. Like you said, I can always come back. But yeah, for me, I don't know. It was just
But
a question mark. I feel like
until
I
you go
need
try,
to figure it.
you're always gonna question
Right.
it, right? So,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Well, sorry to put you on the spot there, but I'm not really
That's good.
sorry. So one question I have is on your third attempts, what's playing in your headphones?
Um, so I rotate like PR songs specifically for this meet. I had Hysteria by Muse playing on repeat for all of my third attempts. I was just vibing with it. No real other reason. It's just a pretty good hype song, and I was feeling it.
I have no idea what song that is. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, you have to look
Can
it
you
up.
sing a
Anything
little
by
bit of it? How's
Muse,
it
I
go?
feel like is great. Oh, you don't want that. You don't want that. Honestly, I
I
don't even
actually
know if I know the words.
I actually really do want that,
Oh God.
but you don't have to. That's fine. I'll look it up after the fact. Let's see. So, anything else that I guess what are your long-term goals with powerlifting, I guess? You talked about your high expectations, which I think you should have high expectations. But what
Yeah.
is your, you know, Taylor Smith in 5 years? Where do you want to be? What do you want to have accomplished?
I have a hard time setting like realistic number goals because I feel like I set something and then I either like blow way past it and it was just like a silly goal to have in the first place, or I set a goal and then I'm having a hard time reaching it and it really just pisses me off. So I
Yeah, that's
think for me,
powerlifting.
yeah, it's less of like a number goal and more of like I just want to get better. I would like to compete in nationals, and I know that I qualified this year based off of this meet, but just all things together, I don't think this is going to be the right year for me to go. I have a wedding in June, and I want to be able to enjoy the wedding. And then I I don't want to go and I don't know what everybody else's total is. I just don't want to go and get dead last either. So maybe in 5 years, I'll be going to nationals and maybe placing. So I don't know. I think long term goals, I would just like to get better and hopefully place in some higher level meets instead of just, Georgia State.
So, I got a few thoughts here.
Yeah.
So, everybody, not everybody, a lot of people have that same thought is I don't want to go to nationals and get dead last. But the part that people miss is the qualifying totals for Raw Nationals are really freaking high. So
Yeah.
like just to even get there is a really, really big deal. And I'm a fan of if you qualify, you go. Like obviously you have a prior commitment. That's different.
Yeah.
But if your only reason for not going was I don't want to get dead last, I do not like that.
Yeah.
Just being
No, that's
honest.
fair. Hmm.
Because you know, one, you belong there if
Yeah.
you qualify, like point blank. It's yeah, it's just it's hard for me to I guess get around that. It's the same concept of like people that are brand new to lifting and they're like, oh, I don't want to do a meet until I know I can win. It's like,
Yeah.
well, that's that's kind of not the point. Like the point is
Yeah.
to compete and work your way up and get better. So I don't know. A lot of people end up
Yeah.
never starting. Like I've never worked with anybody that regretted doing a meet and was like,
Right.
oh, I wish I would have waited and done a meet later. And
Yeah.
everybody always says,
That's
I wish I would have started competing sooner.
yeah.
So
I can definitely
uh,
see it both ways too. And honestly, like probably going into a meet where I'm doing it more so for the experience might even be better in my shoes. Because I mean, I know personally, I have a tendency to really get in my head and like stress myself out when I set these really high expectations. So doing something for fun, I don't think is the worst thing in the world either.
yeah. And at the end of the day, this sport in general should be for fun, right? It's not,
Yeah.
you're not making a living doing it. So it's kind
Right.
of, it does have to have that fun aspect. And I think that's where some people they get, I guess that's one thing I'll say with you. My, my, my final piece of advice as your coach. Um, you had a really good meet
Yeah.
and you're going to have other really good meets. You're also going to have meets that probably aren't as good. And I don't want you to compare your experience and your value as a lifter against this meet
Right.
because the next meet might be great. This next meet might be good. It might not be great. You might not total as much as you just did. You might total well beyond. And I know even hearing that probably pisses you off, but that's
Yeah.
the reality. Like sometimes that's the way it happens. That's why you show up. Cause like we can look at what we've done in the gym or at a previous meet and be like, oh, I'm third in the nation or whatever. Well, that's why you show up at the meet. Cause that's pretty much not how the cards are going to fall at the meet. You have to go show up and compete. So
Yeah.
that's why it's
That's
a
true.
sport. That's, and I think the process of that, if you can, if you can start to enjoy that process, I guess the competitive nature of it, like the unpredictability of it. I
Yeah.
mean, to me, that makes it. It's another aspect to enjoy it for me. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I guess my point of all that is like, don't be super hard on yourself all the time. Like
Yeah.
you're a really good lifter. You're gonna get better. You're gonna have meets that aren't actually knowing you. None of your meets are ever going to be up to what you expect or think they should be.
Yeah.
That's a hard place to be in all the time.
Yeah.
Um, I was the same way, but I
Mhm.
guess my concern is like that mentality of like you never lived up to your expectation of yourself. That can take a toll on you long term.
Yeah.
So like, maybe go a little more go with the flow sometimes,
Coming back. Yeah.
have fun about it. Let's see. So speaking of Raw Nationals, we're going to get into a little bit of news here, but we'll circle back on some stuff. So Raw Nationals hit the cap, so it's sold
Yeah.
out
I
a
saw
couple
that.
days ago. The
Hmm.
cap is 820. They hit that. They also announced that there is no more prime time. What are your first thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that that is something that a lot of people look forward to. Like, sure, getting to nationals is an achievement in itself, but I think that that was kind of like, you know, the next step. Everybody looks forward to watching that too. I think it's interesting. However, I mean, I guess that brings competition back into like each weight class you're lifting with people that are probably blowing your total out of the water, which is kind of cool. So I don't know. I could see both sides.
That's a good diplomatic answer. Um, my answer is I don't like it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't. I don't know if you know or not, but Primetime started in Atlanta 10 years ago in
Oh, really?
2016. Yeah, I'm the one that created it. I guess we never talked about
Uh,
that.
yeah. Well, in that case, that sucks. Why would they do this?
Obviously, it's personal to me a little bit,
Right. Yeah, as it should be.
but I think, you know, being objective, I think the positives is, everybody was still competing for the national title, whether you were in prime time or not. It gave people an opportunity to shoot for that kind of that next lowest hanging fruit, to get to
Yeah.
that next tier of qualifying. And it also spotlighted, the intense competition battles. So,
Yeah.
the way they did it, top 3 qualifying totals always qualified, and then it was based on percentage of third place from there out. So it was all the people that were based on qualifying total really competitive for the medal stand. So that was cool. And having it on one platform allowed for, better live streaming, better commentating, better storytelling of what's actually happening. So a lot of people learned powerlifting by watching primetime, because when you're watching, multiple platforms and the only thing the announcers have time to do is say, all right, this lifter's up, good lift. All right, this lifter's up over here. So it's just constant, like, real time saying what's happening versus telling the story of, like, why that was not a lift, why, things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. On the flip side, I have a lot of theories and beliefs here. My personal belief is that a national meet should never sell out. The qualifying totals should just be higher. Because if it sells out, that means there's deserving people that qualified that don't get to go.
Yeah.
And, looking at the calendar. So, like, another thing that they're going to, because they're getting rid of prime time, they're going to open 180 more spots April 1st. And just looking at the calendar, there are 4 state championships that happen after April 1st. So that means if they open it April 1st and it sells out again, those people that qualify a couple weeks later are not going to be able to go still. So I like the idea of opening it back up. Maybe that should be a little bit later. Anyway, that's not the point. The reason they can open more spots is because they're getting rid of prime time. And typically how they do it is, you can have up to 3 flights of 15 lifters, which is 45 lifters in a session per platform. Two sessions of that, runs till 7 o'clock ish, usually 8 o'clock, which means prime time wouldn't be able to start till 8 or 9 ish. That's too late. So they always, keep the flights a little bit smaller for the morning 2 sessions. That way prime time can start at a reasonable time, 6, 7 o'clock.
Right.
But prime time is only one platform. So when you do the math of all that and add a few lifters to each flight across 4 platforms, across 2 sessions, that's kind of where you get that 180 lifters. So I think, as much as I don't want to admit it, I would say this year it may be the right choice, because it allows more deserving lifters that have qualified to actually get into the competition.
Yeah.
I would love to see it
next
be.
year,
I would like to see the QTs go up and
Yeah.
keep prime time for next year is what I would like to see. I doubt that'll happen, but I don't know. The other thing I'll say is I usually have strong knee-jerk reactions to a lot of things with this stuff, and this is one of them. I think I just don't like it. I don't like getting rid of prime time. I think it was a great thing, blah, blah, blah. But as it turns out, I have been wrong. So maybe this is the right decision. I think time will tell. But I will say this. I know this was not just a knee-jerk choice to make. I know it was discussed by the EC, and I know there's valid. So again, if you just look at the this or that, you can have prime time and keep the meet sold out with a lot of people that qualified not getting in, or you can get rid of prime time and let more people in that qualified. I think if that's the lens you look through, it was the right choice. As much as it pains me to say that, and I will never admit that publicly, it's probably the right choice.
That's funny. Well, you never know. Could change in the future. Maybe they bring him back, but
but anyway. So on that note, I'll get off my high horse there of prime time. We do have 2 lifters competing at the Arnold I want to mention real quick this weekend on Friday. So Stacy Metcalf is lifting on Friday, session 1 in the Masters Bench Bash. She's in platform 1, flight A. Lifting starts at 9. Whoop, whoop. And then Alicia Webb is lifting at the Masters Raw Challenge on platform 1, flight B. And that is starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. And you can find the live streams for that at usapowerlifting.com/live, I believe is where they usually host those.
Exciting.
Yeah. Is that something you'd ever want to do? The Arnold? Yeah.
Maybe in the future. We'll just see.
Yeah, that's a fun meet. Have you ever been to it?
I've been. I wasn't super into lifting or fitness when I went though, so I think I would probably have a good.
Oh yeah, because you were in Indiana.
Yeah, I mean it's like 2 hours from where I live, so it was convenient for me to just go over. But no, I'm going to watch this year. Maybe try to get some feelers out, whether it's something I would want to do in the
Wait,
future.
you are going this year?
Mhm.
Oh, well, I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, just to watch.
Yeah, that's cool. I think it's worth going. Like, it is definitely. I mean, that's the thing. Like, objectively, powerlifting is probably the most boring thing going on there. Like, there's so many like just things.
It's the
Like,
same thing over and over.
yeah, I mean, I love powerlifting. I think it's entertaining. I'm just like objective. Like, I was I was coaching one year, and I wandered over into the ping pong, the table tennis, and was watching. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, and there was like kids playing. It's like just unbelievable. And I look at my watch. I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be warming up lifters right now. Yeah, it's definitely like entertaining. Whether even if you're not into fitness or stuff, there's just so many things going on. It's just a spectacle. It's great. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I'm excited and see some of our teammates, so that'll be cool this weekend too.
Yeah, for sure. So every episode we do like a powerlifting situation and a new lifter tip. I'm gonna
Hmm.
ask you the powerlifting situation and see what you
Oh
would do.
man. Okay.
Uh, all right. So you go out for your opening bench, but the referee tells you to step off the platform because you still have your knee sleeves on, but they're pulled down around your ankles because you forgot to take them off after squats.
Mm.
There's only 40 seconds left on the clock because the bar was called loaded. So what do you do?
Oh. Well, personally, I would never be in this situation because that would never slide. And when after I'm done squatting, they've got to come off immediately. It's something that I don't know. They're just so uncomfortable in the first place. I don't know how you would forget. But I guess if that happened,
Well, you pulled
I
them
guess try
down,
to get
like you
them
pulled
off.
them around your ankles, so they're not like super tight around your
Yeah,
knees right now. So you just kind of forgot about them. Hypothetically, if you did do this, what would you do?
hypothetically. I mean, try to get them off as fast as I could and get back out on the platform. Worst case scenario, I guess you just miss your first lift, but that would be unfortunate.
Yeah,
And that's why you need people checking for you.
true. That's also so I think this is a good one that I see that exact scenario happen fairly often, believe it or not.
uh,
And you're allowed to wear them in bench press. They just have to be over your knees.
oh,
So it would be depending on what's faster for you, pulling them back up or taking your shoes off and taking them off. So for a lot of people, it'd be quicker just to reach down and pull them up and then go back out.
yeah,
I don't know
I
if
could
that
see
would be
that.
the case for you or not, but
I don't even know. It may take me a minute to get them on. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. But most people don't even realize that's an option. They just
Yeah,
think they have to take them off. So by the time you get your shoes off, pull them off, like you're probably going to miss out on that opening attempt. So I,
yeah,
I would say the safest bet is to try to get them back up
yeah,
and see what happens.
yeah.
But
Hmm,
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not an ideal situation though.
Yeah, definitely not. But it happens. And yeah, I think you're right. Like you should definitely take them off immediately after squats so that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
But it's surprising how many people do just pull them down and start warming up, especially on a fast-paced meet. So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
anyway, yeah, those are fun little things we like to do,
yeah.
little situations. All right, new lifter tip. We always leave a new lifter
Oh
tip. I'm gonna
God.
I'm gonna punt this to you.
Hmm.
You've been competing for what, 20, what was your first meet?
2020.
24 state, right?
Yup.
So you've only been
Yeah.
competing exactly 2 years.
Yeah. I
So
guess so.
after 2 years of experience, what is your tip for a new lifter that is either getting into the sport or wants to try powerlifting as a sport?
Yeah. Well, yes, based off of our conversation today, don't take it too seriously. Still try to have fun. Don't get in your head too much because you were completely right. At the end of the day, we do it for fun. So putting all of that pressure on yourself, just for a sport that we do as, a hobby doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So have fun.
Yeah, and this is, a little bit, I guess, contradictory to Josh the lifter as well. So I understand that aspect because like my whole week was based on how a training session went, let alone how a meet went.
Yeah.
And my wife will tell you, like, we went to college together back in early 2000s, and she was on the powerlifting team with us, and she'll tell you, like, I was the grumpiest, like, pain in the ass person in the world, and nobody really wanted to be around me, like, on bad training days.
Oh God, it's
And that's
Josh.
and
Everybody's
exactly, it's exactly
you.
what it was. And you know, I think there's the balance of, yes, take it seriously, yes, try, right? But like
Right.
broad perspective, like any one bad training session, any one bad meet, that's really not the end of the world, you know? In that moment, it sure feels like it
Feels
though.
like it. Might
Yeah.
might feel like it, but yeah, no, you're right.
It pains you to say that right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it definitely does.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't
Yeah.
feel good, that's for sure.
Yep. So that's all I have agenda wise. What else? What else can you tell us about Taylor Smith?
Oh,
Ooh, let's do some. Let's pull a page out of Jenna's book when she was announcing and just saying random shit about herself. What are some
oh,
random Taylor Smith facts?
hmm. Oh, random Taylor Smith fact. I was on the same U.S. diving team as David Badaya, the Olympic gold medalist, when I was in junior high.
That is very random trivia.
Yep.
I did
The
not
more you
even
know.
know that you were a diver.
Yeah. It was funny enough. Somebody from my junior high, which very tiny, small school, I graduated with like 89 people in my class. A junior high student from my junior high just sent me a message on Facebook last week asking me if I knew the dives that I did to get the junior high record. I said, that was 15 years ago. No.
15 years ago. My 25th high school reunion is coming up this summer.
Oh my gosh.
25th.
Well, anyway, now that I made you feel old.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. Give me one more. What's another
Hmm.
Taylor Smith
Do I have any? Somebody
trivia?
asked me the other day if I had any hidden talents, if I could sing or dance, and I just straight up, you don't need that. I don't know. I moved down here to Georgia all by myself. I feel like that's kind of a crazy thing not many people do.
What sparked that?
Job. Yeah,
His
I
job.
got a promotion for the company that I was working for at the time, and they moved me down here.
Gotcha.
But yeah, moved all alone with my two little dogs, all
Scale of
turned
1 to
into
10, how's Georgia been?
all in all, I would give it a 7.5 because traffic, you can't avoid it here. You can't. Um, Bugs. You guys have some weird bugs. You have those
Hey, you can't
yellow
say you guys. I'm
spiders.
not from here either. I'm from Ohio.
Yeah,
And
y'all.
also, we have some weird bugs because you're in Georgia now. We
Yeah,
have some weird
yeah.
bugs.
We do have some weird bugs. Those yellow spiders that you see sitting in the trees all summer. Somebody
Oh,
told me
those
that
things
they
are
eat
the
hummingbirds. I don't know
I
if
don't
that's
know,
true.
but they are huge. Like the Joro
Yeah.
spiders, they're like from
Uh-huh.
Southeast Asia or something like that. They
Yeah.
just they just came around like 2 years ago. Like actually, yeah, they weren't here before that. Like you brought them with you.
No, 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 no. We don't need to start
But
that rumor.
but they literally like like their spider webs you could like hang a dumbbell from.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
crazy.
Then you have you we call
Thank you.
them palmetto bugs,
Oh, they're
cockroaches. I'm
cockroaches. Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're straight up
That's what
cockroaches.
docked it 2.5 points.
Palmetto
That's
bug
about
is the palmetto bug is the equivalent, and I'm gonna piss people off here, I know it, but
it.
palmetto bug is the equivalent of somebody saying "bless your heart" in a passive aggressive way of being like you're an effing idiot.
Yep.
Bless your heart.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yeah. Whatever. I maybe shouldn't have said that, but that's how I feel.
On today's hot topics,
Yeah.
what's Josh going to say to piss you off?
That'll be the episode. The topic or the episode description is "bless your heart." Let's see. Do you want to shout out like any of your training partners, anything like that? Where you
I
train?
mean, yeah, I go to Icon right now.
I was gonna say I just saw a video from Icon and you're on it. Like
Yeah,
it literally popped up right before we started recording. I forgot I was gonna mention it and I forgot.
Yeah. They just opened what, July of last year. So it's still new. But it's kind of like a mixture between bodybuilding and powerlifting. Like they have TSS racks, they have rogue racks, they have everything. But it's nice just because there's a lot of accessory equipment also. So you have options. And I mean it gets busy, but it's not terrible. But yeah, Icon is good for anywhere near the Cumming area. I do miss just a normal powerlifting gym though.
They're great, but they are also from a business standpoint, like gyms are just hard. Like
Yeah,
they're hard. So props to people that are trying to do it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's next for you?
As far as meets
Yeah.
or yeah. Um, Most likely regionals, which would probably be September, October. I don't know exactly when. But yeah, gives me good chunk of time to train, get stronger, and hopefully have a good meet when I get back to it. But yeah, just in the meantime, I guess training.
What's the ideal number of meets for you to compete in a year?
I would say probably two. I think anything more than two, I don't think that there's enough time to like build in between. And so, like, how we've been doing it the last 2 years, state and then regionals, I think they're spaced well enough to be able to grow a little bit. But I think if you threw a third one in there, it would probably, I think that would mess up training quite a bit, I'm sure. And I don't think I would see as much results. But then on the flip side, if I were only doing one, I think, at least for me, and I don't know if it's for everybody, I think that I would start getting in my head more because the longer that I train without doing a meet, the higher expectations that I have for the performance. And if I don't hit that, then it's like even more
Yeah, because
disappointing.
you went a whole
So,
year and
yeah,
build it
like
up so
why
much.
did I do that? Why did I train a whole year and just to do poorly?
Yeah.
So I think two, at least for me, I don't know about everybody else. I like two. Two's a good number.
Yeah, I think I like two to three. I think is pretty realistic. For that
Yeah.
reason, yeah. But again, everything's a continuum, and there's no necessarily right or wrong for either way. But if you are doing if you are doing a meet every 8 weeks, like you're basically coming off a meet and right back into meet prep. So like,
Right. Yeah.
the way I always explain it is like you're either training to get stronger or you're training to like realize the strength that you've built. And if you're always
Yeah.
training to realize the strength you've built
It's
with
just
not actually
loosening.
building strength, it's just the same thing. And eventually
Yeah.
you get diminishing returns from a, absolute strength standpoint. But, there's the other aspect of the psychological side. Like if you just lose your shit at meets because you're just nervous or whatever, you just might need more platform experience to get your nerves under
Yeah.
control, so that while you might not be building physical strength, you might be building more psychological strength. But obviously, I don't think that's an issue for you, but like for some people it is. Like
Yeah.
being in front of a crowd or whatever just makes people nervous, so sometimes that's so yeah, I think in general 2 to 3 meets is a pretty solid number.
I would
Obviously
agree with
plus or
that.
minus a little bit based on individual perspectives
Yeah.
and experiences. But, and sometimes there's just like high profile meets or, really fun meets that you want to do that
Yeah.
maybe you do without actually making that the center of your world for that training block. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay to do a meet and, this meet down the road is the one you're training for and you just kind of show up and do this one for fun.
Yeah.
That's okay too.
Yeah.
But
I can see that.
obviously you can expect to have lower than normal numbers, and
Yeah.
sometimes that may not go well for certain people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Me.
Yeah, cool. All right. Where can people follow you on social media? I mean, I'm gonna tag you, but for might as
Yeah.
well whatever.
I mostly just use my Instagram, but it's Smith8_Tay is my username.
Smith the
Instagram.
number 8
Yep. Eight
underscore Tay.
underscore
Cool.
Tay. Yep.
Awesome.
Simple enough.
Good stuff. Any final thoughts? The floor is yours.
Oh gosh. I don't know about final thoughts. I guess good luck to everybody that's competing this weekend at the Arnold. It'll be fun to see what performance everybody brings, and I think that'll be a good meet for everybody. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am too. I think it's going to be fun. I'm not going, but I will definitely be watching on the live stream.
Yeah.
The Arnold's it's one of my favorite meets. I'd say Collegiate Nationals is probably my favorite meet. I don't know if you've ever been to a Collegiate Nationals, but they're intense. Arnold's probably second or third. It's up there.
Yeah. Uno Reverse, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, I'm going to get sentimental on you. I have enjoyed working with you. I am definitely going to miss you being on the team. And I genuinely, and Wade is the same, like we genuinely wish the best for you. Like there are definitely no hard feelings. We want you to succeed, obviously. And, if that's somewhere else, then that's where we want you to be.
Well,
and I think there's probably a lot of people in your shoes, and I really hope that, I don't know, maybe this just makes it a little bit less taboo to talk about, and maybe have that conversation with their coach, or, maybe go look, talk to other coaches.
Yeah.
The pursuit of strength is out there. Go find it.
Wow.
How's that?
That was good. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys also.
Cool. And we'll obviously still be Taylor Smith fans. So
yeah,
I said that really fast. It almost sounded like I said Taylor Swift.
The number of times I hear that is actually surprising. And yeah, I like to think I'm probably not as cool as that, nor do I have that much money, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that is a bummer. Yeah, man, it's true though, because like if you had Taylor Swift money,
right,
then that whole job thing would not get in the way of this powerlifting habit.
I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe someday,
Maybe one day, yeah.
Lottery. We'll see.
Yeah. Who knows? Cool. All right. Well, hey, I've had fun talking with you. You're obviously welcome back on the podcast at any point. So if you feel like you have something to discuss, hit me up. We'll talk it out and let our one or two listeners that we actually have laugh at our antics.
I'll tune in. Make
Awesome.
it 3.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks a lot for listening, everybody. We will catch you all next week. Hopefully Laura will be back. And Taylor, thanks again for being on. It was fun, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thanks.
Later. And just a friendly reminder, if you are looking for science-based powerlifting programming, look no further than the Team Roar training app. You can find the link to it in the episode description, and also get 25% off of your first month using discount code, all capital, PL Ballads Podcast. Happy training.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Powerlifting and Power Ballads podcast, please remember to subscribe and share it with your friends.